Now let's talk
Absolutely.
about Amir Mahal because we're going to talk about food.
Okay.
Our favorite topic,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
You have a heritage of chefs who work for you.
Yep.
I also heard that there's certain chefs only for desserts. There's certain desserts which has been in your family for 150 years.
Yes.
Can you talk about that? And the biryani. The talk about biryani is already my mouth is salivating. Can you talk about that? What's your favorite biryani in your cuisine?
We have 10th generation families
Mm.
who are living here who make only the biryani in Amir Mahal.
Mm.
Okay. So there is generations of a family who are living who make only the salans, the curries.
Mm.
And there is one generation of families who make only the desserts.
Mm.
And also,
When you say generation, this is the 8th or 9th, 10th generation of
yeah,
people. It's
yeah, yeah.
passed
They're
on
living,
like that.
yes, absolutely. And they live inside Amir Mahal.
Mm.
And of course, the members of the family, like my grandmother, fantastic cook herself, my mom,
Mm.
and the ladies of the family, and the men both, in fact. We try to.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
How many things you do? You piano, quiz master, you played cricket.
No, the max I have done personally, I have just boiled an egg.
Okay, great. Okay, it's not you. Okay.
So I'm just telling generally in the family. And so, say, how much can we talk about food? I could go on and on.
Tell me what's the favorite biryani of yours and what's the best biryani which is cooked in your place?
So we have, okay, talking about biryani, we have different kinds of biryanis. One which we make at home for just the family, which is a lighter version, less of spices, less of masala and all that. Then we have one where
Is this the basmati rice biryani which is made at your home or the
I'll come to that. No,
Yeah.
this is not the basmati. What
this is
we
the
make,
siraga samba small rice?
no, not even small. It's the normal rice.
Okay, normal rice. Okay.
Yeah. The basmati one is made for the functions and get-togethers, where it's a little more heavier stuff. And then there is another biryani which is made for the festivals and the weddings and all that. So that is on the heavier side, which can be made only if it's made in that big day.
So it needs to be done for a few hundred people or
1,000
people. Oh,
Yeah, 100 to 600, 700, 1,000, 2,000,
this was
5,000
like the
people.
wedding kind of biryani.
Only then you get that taste. You can't get that taste when you cook the same biryani in a smaller pot. So 2-3 kinds of biryanis. And then interestingly, our salans or the curries, so we have both veg and non-veg. And when we talk about non-veg, we are talking about vegetarian dishes added with some meat or the other.
Oh.
So it'll be a dish like a carrot mutton. So it'll be a dish like cucumber and prawns or stuff like that, And we have dishes which are very unique to our family.
So your chefs have been doing fusion food for many centuries then.
Even now we keep trying.
Yeah.
Even now my mom also keeps trying her own recipes, fusing things and all that. Yeah. Things like tamarind and mutton. Tamarind is not the tamarind. Tamarind leaves. We call it sugar gosh and all that stuff like that. But the most important point I would like to mention here when talking about food is that Amir Mahal, we have served non-veg for. Okay, by the way, Amir Mahal is about 200 years old, almost 175 years old. In this 175 years, we have never ever served 3 things. Ever. First one, alcohol. Never liquor. Right? Don't drink, don't serve. And it is prohibited in our faith. Second is pork. Never tried, never served. Again,
in the faith.
prohibited. It's haram. Haram means prohibited. Third is, though it's allowed for us, but still we have never served, is beef.
Because you have Hindu neighbors around you just to maintain the respect.
Many people don't eat beef. They come from the Hindu religion or other religions. Not to make them uncomfortable, we have had this practice of never ever serving beef, and we still continue even today.
That tells you that you merely don't speak about communal harmony, you live it.
See, I think it's the
just
most...
the respect for the faith, right? It's not that nobody says don't do it, but it's just the respect for people around you.
I think that's the definition of humanity. The first criteria is be a human being and respect human beings. Right? Be human. Right? You can't be stuck up because you want to be stuck up and make others uncomfortable. That is not what your religion teaches you. Right? You can't, okay, I'll continue here. You can't say that I pray, I fast, I give charity, I do that, I do this, I'm a good human being. No. You have to be good to other human beings for all these things to get accepted.
Your action speaks louder than your words. What you do
Yeah.
matters more than what you say.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's very important.
Okay. You're talking about desert. 1955, Prime Minister Nehru came, had a desert. 8 years later, he came and again requested for the same desert. Is that how famous your deserts are? By the way, what desert was that?
That was, we call it kun, which is nothing but almond badam halwa, but made in our own style. So, okay, it's a very interesting story. So, a Panditji had come to Madras when Nehruji came, and my great-grandfather was invited by the then governor, I think it was Sri Prakasa, to come to Raj Bhavan for lunch. So at the lunch, it was the governor, it was my great-grandfather, Nehruji, and a couple of other ministers were sitting. So he was introduced as he's the Prince of Arcot and the Prime Minister. So while talking, he said, my grandfather said, my great-grandfather, Panditji will be honored to host you at Amir Mahal. This is after lunch at the Raj Bhavan. And he expected a reply that, yes, I'll come sometime in the future when I come to Madras. You know what he said? Sure, I'll come this evening. And
that was not expected.
My grandfather didn't expect that reply. And immediately, I believe the ministers and whoever, they said, no, Pandit, we cannot do that. It's too soon. We cannot do all the
protocols,
the security, the bandobast and all. This is impossible. From Raj Bhavan to Amir Mahal. He said, no, wait. He called his secretary. He said, what time we are free in the evening? He said, we are free at about 5 o'clock. Okay, Nawabzada. 5 o'clock, I'm coming to Amir Mahal. In 3 hours, the entire arrangement was done. From Raj Bhavan to Amir Mahal. Invitations were sent. The security was done. The protocols were done. Everything was done. And 5 o'clock, he reached the Prime Minister of India. He reaches Amir Mahal and high tea. And then this badam dessert was made. And he had that. And he loved it so much. Again in 63.
8 years later.
8 years later, we came to know that he's coming to Madras. Then my grandfather sent an invite again to Delhi this time. So when you come to Madras, you've been to Amir Mahal, would you, we'll be honored if you come again. He said, yes, I'm coming. Provided you make that same badam halwa.
He still remembered 8 years later.
He remembered that and we made again and he had it again and he appreciated it again.